Let me ask you something uncomfortable. Have you ever noticed that the people who can least afford to pay more always end up paying the most? Think about that for a second. The person living paycheck to paycheck pays higher interest rates on loans. They pay more for groceries because they cannot buy in bulk. They pay more for electricity because they cannot afford energy-efficient appliances. They pay more for car insurance, more for rent relative to what they get, more for practically everything. Meanwhile, the wealthy person buys in bulk, locks in lower interest rates, owns assets that generate returns, and actually gets rewarded with cash back, travel points, and investment dividends just for spending money they already have. This is not a coincidence. This is a system. And whether you are aware of it or not, if you are broke or living paycheck to paycheck right now, this system is working against you every single day. Today, we are going to break down the exact math behind this, real numbers, real examples. And by the end of this video, you will understand precisely how poverty taxes your wallet silently, and more importantly, what you can actually do about it. Stay with me. Economists have a name for this problem. They call it the poverty premium. It is the extra amount that low-income individuals pay for the same goods and services that wealthier people pay less for. And this is not a small difference. Studies found that low-income households pay hundreds of dollars more per year just because of their financial situation. In the United States, the numbers are even more staggering. Let us start with rent versus a mortgage. If you're renting a two-bedroom apartment in a mid-sized city, you might be paying $1,200 a month. That's $14,400 a year. And at the end of it, you own absolutely nothing. Now compare that to someone who bought a similar home. Their mortgage might also be around $1,200 a month, but every payment builds equity. In 30 years, that renter has paid over $400,000 and has nothing to show for it. The homeowner paid a similar amount and now owns an asset worth potentially $500,000 or more. Same monthly payment, completely different financial outcome. But here's where it gets painful. The reason most people rent instead of buy is not always by choice. It's because they don't have enough saved for a down payment. And the reason they don't have enough saved is partly because they are paying rent. It's a trap. It's circular. And the math punishes you for being in it. Now let's talk about borrowing money. This is where the poverty penalty becomes mathematically devastating. Your credit score tells lenders how trustworthy you are with debt. If your score is excellent, you might qualify for a personal loan at 6% interest. If your score is poor, you might be offered the same loan at 24% or higher. You borrow $10,000 at 6% over 5 years. You pay back about $11,500. The interest cost you $1,500. Same $10,000 loan at 24% over 5 years, you pay back over $16,000. The interest alone cost you $6,000. Same loan, same amount borrowed. But the poor credit borrower pays $4,500 more just for being in a weaker financial position. And if you can't get a traditional loan at all, you turn to payday lenders. The average payday loan carries an annual percentage rate of around 391%. You borrow $300 to cover rent and end up paying back $450 2 weeks later. Roll that over for a year, and that $300 loan costs you over $1,000 in interest alone. That's not a loan. That's a trap. If this video is opening your eyes, hit the like button and subscribe right now. I break down money, investing, and wealth building every week in ways that actually make sense. Subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss a video. Now let's talk about food. Poor people often pay more for groceries, not because they're buying expensive things, because they're paying the convenience tax. When you're wealthy, you drive to a warehouse store, buy in bulk, and pay a fraction of the per-unit cost. A large pack of chicken might cost $2.50 per pound. But if you live in a low-income neighborhood without a bulk store nearby, you buy what you need when you need it from the corner store. That same chicken costs $4.50 per pound. Over a year, a family of 4 could be paying over $1,000 more for the exact same food. And it's not just food. If you can't afford to replace your washing machine, you go to the laundromat and spend $8 to $12 per load. Someone who owns a washer spends about 50 cents per load. Over a year, the laundromat user pays potentially $1,000 more to wash the same clothes. If your car is unreliable, you miss work and lose income. If you can't afford quality shoes, you replace cheap ones 3 times a year instead of once. The broke person is always spending more just to maintain the same basic standard of living. Then there's insurance. Car insurance companies in many states are legally allowed to use your credit score to set your premium. Someone with excellent credit might pay $1,200 a year. A driver with poor credit and a clean record might pay $2,000 a year. Same car, same roads. $800 more every year just for being poor. And beyond money, being broke costs you time and mental energy. Research by behavioral economists found that financial stress consumes so much mental bandwidth that it can reduce your effective cognitive performance significantly on important tasks. The person worried about paying the electricity bill has less mental space to think about investing, advancing their career, or building a business. The system is not just taking your money, it's taking your capacity to escape it. So what do you do about all of this? First, attack your credit score. It's the single lever with the most impact across the widest range of financial costs. Better credit means lower loan rates, lower insurance premiums, and better rental terms. Get your free credit report, dispute any errors, pay down balances, and never miss a payment. Moving from a poor score to a fair score can save you thousands of dollars a year. Second, build a buffer. An emergency fund of even $1,000 prevents a car repair from becoming a payday loan spiral. Start with $20 a week. Automate it. That buffer is worth more than almost any investment at this stage. Third, buy in bulk wherever you can. Split a warehouse membership with a neighbor if you need to. Buying non-perishables in larger quantities is one of the fastest ways to reduce your monthly costs immediately. Fourth, start investing even if it's a small amount. $50 a month in a low-cost index fund started at age 25 can grow to over $100,000 by retirement. The cost of waiting is enormous. Start now with whatever you have. Fifth, avoid high-cost financial products. Payday loans, rent-to-own agreements, and high-fee prepaid cards look like solutions but function as traps. Always calculate the total cost, not just the monthly payment. Here's the bottom line. Being broke is expensive, not because poor people make bad decisions, but because the system charges a premium at every single turn for the misfortune of having less. Higher rates, higher premiums, higher prices, less time, less mental energy. But knowledge is power. Now that you can see the math, you can start making moves that chip away at these penalties one by one. You don't need to go from broke to wealthy overnight. You just need to make the next right move, then the one after that. The people who build wealth from nothing are not luckier than you. They just started seeing the game clearly and played it differently. You now see it clearly. Your move. If this video gave you value, share it with someone who needs to hear it. Drop a comment below telling me which part hit hardest. Like the video, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.